Hey, so I want to tell you guys about a funny little thing I discovered. About a week ago or so, I was just browsing through my recommended feed, and then I came across this interesting little fan video. It was this promo for the third season of Amphibia, but what was interesting about it was that it was actually from like Fox Entertainment, like the Fox channel. Which by that point alone, you can obviously tell it's not real, but I was still interested, so I decided to click on it. And yeah, the video is actually pretty well edited in terms of like the music and how it interacts with like the titles. So, and even the voiceover is pretty decent. So I was pretty much impressed. So after watching it, I decided to check out the guy's channel, and I was surprised to find this like boatload of these like promo, board, like fake shows that obviously did not air on these networks, but well, not fake shows, like fake promos. Like obviously, like Amphibia did not air on Fox, or like, yeah, basically all that stuff. And just going down through it, it was just like incredibly interesting. Like spending like 10 minutes going through these videos and like seeing like, oh, this is interesting and all. And after that, I just went on with my day. I just kind of like forgot about the channel until I discovered another channel that did a very similar thing. And they go by Jay Wingfield, and it's pretty, again, they're pretty similar thing to the other channel. But like these ones, on the other hand, they're very professional looking. Like obviously it says fake and fan made in the titles, but like the editing in some of these is pretty good, like even above par the previous channel. And I'm just like, wait, it led me to think that like, wait, was one channel copying the other, or is it the other way around? Like these two channels are uploading very similar promos and all this other stuff. So I decided to like do a little bit more digging. And doing like a little bit of research, I found out like the first channel, Andrew PS, they started their channel in 2016, while Jay Wingfield started their channel in 2017. But going to down like Andrew PS's videos, his first upload was in 2022, like I think January 5th or something. And I went to the description, and it literally said like Jay Wingfield, or I think his name was Jimmy Wingfield at the time, was inspired by it. So I was like, oh, so there it is. It's all cleared up. Andrew PS is doing this because he was inspired by Jimmy Wingfield. But then I went through Jimmy Wingfield's videos, and he's been doing this for around 5 years. Like 2017 was the first time he ever did one of these fake promo things. And even back in 2017, they were pretty well edited and pretty well made. So I was like, this guy's been doing this for over, like he has so many of these, and they're all pretty professionally well made. It made me realize like, is he a person in the industry, or is he just doing this as like a personal project thing, or like to basically expand his skills or whatever? So I actually go to their about page, and they actually have a Twitter and like a Discord and like a Patreon. And like the Twitter is basically like, it talks about like it's like it promotes his like promo stuff on his Twitter, and he also has like a Discord server. I didn't join that yet, but I did actually follow him on Twitter just because, you know, he sounds cool. Look, he does cool stuff. And so I was like, oh, this is pretty interesting. He's been doing this for like so long, and like it's just something I just didn't expect to ever really find or like discover. So after all that, I just kind of let it like rear view mirror, like don't really think about it until like a few days later in my notifications, I get another, like, you know how YouTube does that recommended thing. I got a recommended for another Amphibia like fake promo, but it wasn't from Jay Wingfield, or it wasn't from Andrew PS. It was from a completely different channel. And it's a channel that goes by Rabbit Filmmaker. And I'm just like, and I go for their videos. I'm like, there's 3 of these people doing these like fake M-board promos. And like, again, they're pretty well edited and like pretty somewhat believable. And it's like, is this like a rabbit hole am I falling into? I mean, I probably wouldn't consider it like a rabbit hole, because I feel like, yeah, it has to be like 10 or more channels. So far I just found 3, but it's like, this is so interesting and weird to me. And guess what? I go to their first video upload, which was like 2 years ago, and I go to description, and it cites Jimmy Wingfield, Jay Wingfield, the guy we talked about earlier, as like the person who gave him credit to make this. And it seems as like it links one of his templates. So I'm just like, oh, so Jimmy Wingfield is like maybe the original, and then Andrew PS and the Rabbit Filmmaker are just fans that, you know, just wanted to do their own little thing. And like, obviously I wouldn't really call that like, unless they're specifically like ripping off his own was not really his own footage, it's taken from other things, but like they're like taking the same clips in the same way, like not really doing any variation about them, which obviously I don't think they do. But also at the same time, I just discovered that like Jimmy Wingfield does these tutorials, and I watched one of the tutorials, I'm like, okay, so now all this makes sense. Like, he makes the templates, at least from what I've researched, he makes the templates, and then the other people just inspired by him just take those templates and do their own thing with it, which, you know, that's pretty interesting. It's pretty cool how like all this stuff is mostly free, or it's all free, yeah, and then they just like do their own thing with it. It's just very weird, like set of like finding one thing, finding another thing, finding another thing, and then finding out they're all connected, or they were all like took inspiration from each other. It's just like, I thought I was like, I don't know, I wasn't losing my mind, but it was just like such like a weird experience this all was. So yeah, that's basically all I have to talk about. Just me finding this one weird little rabbit hole thing, and like finding all these channels doing these weird little things. I'm pretty sure there's more of them. I just haven't discovered them. They haven't appeared in my recommended feed. Well, pretty sure they're gonna appear there, find them, and I'll be like, oh, were you and Jay Wingfield? Yeah, all right. Anyway, thanks for listening to a man ramble at like 8 a.m. in the morning about something he discovered over the past few weeks. So, like, subscribe, watch videos, whatever. See you later. Bye.